themselves, starting us off here. Blocked at the net by Caleb. Alvaro onto. Oh, and getting a little love from that block, as they say. Yay, we got the point.
Gage is excited. I covered it with my head. And then Caleb gets one to the face as well, so.
Great block there from Gage. Lars with that serve at Caleb, who earns a first ball side out.
Lars, the older of the two at 26 years old, Gage only 20. A lot of talent coming up, very young, very talented, experienced players, even though they're just 20 years old. But Caleb on the other side, 22. Now Alvaro, the experienced one of the bunch, sitting at 33, the Olympian, Tokyo Olympian, with Ali-san, who's also playing here this weekend. So a lot of good talent on this court.
Right, the casual Olympian that Caleb is playing with. Gage with the serve. Caleb on two, trying to find that deep seam. We've seen a lot of the on-two action, Corinne. We see it on the international tour, and we see it have a pretty prevalent seat here on the AVP side. Let's talk a little bit of why we're seeing so much of that on-two action.
Yeah, well, it definitely makes the defense think of so many more things. You know, you now have, what a swing by Caleb. I just have to point that out. Great swing, open net, just bounces it. But it makes the other team have a lot more to worry about. You know, you're setting up your defense almost twice, and sometimes you're getting caught off guard in between those following the setter, then back to the hitter movements.
Movement indeed, and we're gonna see a lot of it here in this game. Alvaro with that serve. Lars taking a look, nobody up, saying thank you very much, I will take that point. Bringing Lars back to the service line. Lars with the float at Alvaro. It's tight. Caleb's there. In transition, going to find that cut shot.
I love how calm Alvaro is on that ball. He was right there for the cover. Caleb took it. He's right there to set. You know, not a lot of extra movement. He just knows exactly how to get his body into the right position. Very calm demeanor onto the court.
That is so key and such a great point, Corinne. Not a lot of extra movement. When I coached the younger levels on the youth side, there's a lot happening. And we try and say, you know, stay calm, cool, and collected. Less is more in the game of beach volleyball.
Definitely.
Caleb Kwekel here with the serve, standing at 6'4", out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. And he'll get a block at the net with it. Caleb has a second on the AVP tour and is hungry for a first, and why not make it an MBO?
I'm going to speak for all of the players when I say this, but if anyone could pick one, I think everyone would pick the MBO to win.
And part of that reason is your name solidified in history on that beautiful historical California landmark, the Manhattan Beach Pier. Your name and the date, the year you win the Manhattan Beach Open is on a little volleyball plaque there in the row all the way down the pier, dating back into the 70s and late 60s. Alvaro with the pass. And the kill, a first ball side out from the seasoned Olympian.
Again, everything he does just looks so smooth. His arm gets back so fast. He has so many options on offense, even though he might have been a little off the net there. Still a pretty good set. He keeps the ball in front of him and has every option available.
Lars taking a look, cut shot to the right. It's that delayed look that he's so good at, Corinne.
Yeah, both of them have made a name for themselves coming out to the tour. They had their first, I believe it was 2 years ago in Denver, where they made it to a semifinal. And they beat Jeremy Casepier and Alvaro, right, that's playing here right now, to get into that semifinal. And that was a big upset. And everyone's like, okay, who are these boys?
Right. Okay, now we'll pay attention a little bit more. 6-6 here in the first set, with Caleb Kwekel at the service line. Off the top of the tape. And hammering it down. Gage being able to control that ball off the top of the tape.
Gage always looks like he's having so much fun on the court. It's so fun to watch. You know, he's truly enjoying himself.
A little bit wide. And Corinne, you know, I think that's so important to touch on, because at this level you can kind of get lost in having this be your job. And I think it's really important to find your joy and your why of why you play. And I think sometimes for some athletes, you have to step away to find that joy again. But not for Gage. Gage is out here, and joy is his middle name when he is playing on the court.
Yeah, but even watching him play, it reminds you, like, man, this game is pretty fun. This game is awesome.
I'd say so myself. Alvaro with the serve. High line for his little brother, Lars.
Yeah, Lars being able to see that movement.
I mean, big brother Lars. High line for Alvaro.
Caleb and Alvaro definitely going to be playing a little bit more of that show and take game, showing something, then moving into the other side. Lars had a vision on it that time, but we'll see how the game develops.
Gage with that pass. It's up. Alvaro in transition. Cut shot up and over that block, keeping his team alive, but maybe landed on his neck a little funny there on that cut shot. Needs to take a second. Maybe a little bit of whiplash. We never want to see an athlete hurt out here. Trying to walk that one off. Our professional referees, our 0-1 up there, David Vandermeer and Scott Long, letting him have a little breather there. Service ace will go to the brothers, bringing Gage back to the service line. Standing at 6'5", resides in Tucson, Arizona.
Still a little worried that Alvaro is, you know, touching his neck, feeling it a little bit.
Kwekel, high line. It is out of bounds. And it is now 10 serving 9. Gage at the service line. Found himself a third place finish twice on the AVP Tour. Cut. Serve going short. Alvaro. Calm, cool, and collected, the Brazilian Olympian. Doing just what it takes to go point for point action out here. It's always long days. Every game is a battle.
Yeah, in this second round of elimination, they've already played one, survived, and now they're playing this game to get into Saturday.
Gage picked up. Lars in transition. Taking a look, nobody up. Saying thank you very much, bringing us to our technical timeout. So far, Corinne, what are some key takeaways here in the beginning of the first set?
Oh, I think both of these teams were going point for point. They're both doing good things. Gage and Lars are doing a good job being consistent, as well as Alvaro and Caleb. So we're going to see who can kind of separate first, and if they can come out of this tech with some sort of strategy and some things that they want to implement to help create that distance between the other team. Because right now we are kind of going back to back. They're answering well, both teams. So we'll see who can have that separation first.
Hoping to create that separation and find their way on to Saturday, and eventually, why not win the Manhattan Beach Open, not only for bragging rights and your name on the pier, but a piece of that paycheck, $300,000 in total prize money to be divvied up for the men and women's. 32-team main draw, double elimination format here for the Heritage Series. Next Heritage Series will be in Chicago, August 30th through September 1st. 16-team double elimination, no on-site qualifier. So you gotta have points, Corinne, to get into that double elimination. Last stop of the Heritage Series. It's important to play and win those and acquire as many points as you can, because that qualifies you into the AVP League draft that will be happening shortly after AVP Chicago, as the league will be underway in less than a month now, starting September 14th, as the teams make their way back on to court number 1. Both teams battling on each side of their net. The sand is hot. This sand, specifically in Manhattan Beach, known worldwide for being some of the deepest you can ever play in. Kwekel, high line, it'll go. Finding his first ball side out for his team, running behind, opening up that angle.
It sounded like it hurt, definitely went off of his fingers. And a great swing.
Kwekel back at the service line.
I love that aggressive serve.
Sneaking it through is Lars. Lars, the big brother of the duo, 26 years old, from and still resides in Lyons, Colorado. Did I say that right? They'll let us know in the chat. Alvaro, scooped up. Lars, Kwekel's there. Quick in transition, and quick to put it away is Kwekel and Alvaro.
Yeah, good control. I love that fast plays in transition especially. It's so hard for the other team to get set up and create a good defense to play against that offense.
Alvaro with the serve. And that serve is called out of bounds. Lars at the service line. Alvaro tooling the hands of Gage. Smart swing there, Alvaro. It seemed to jump a little bit early. He was hanging in the air and needed to swing high hands on his way down.
Yeah, luckily he has a lot of experience and can find those options when he's in those positions. He seems to be in a pretty good rhythm as well, siding out.
Gage, high hands of his own, saying if you can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah, we're still just going point for point here, 14-13 for the Basey brothers. The winner of this match will face off of Evan Corey and Alison, Alvaro's Olympian partner. Could be an interesting matchup.
Point Alvaro and Kwekel, 14 apiece on our next side switch. Both teams playing grade A volleyball right now. They're just really solidifying those rice and beans, Corinne. I know you know that saying.
Yeah, they're doing the little things really well, and they're both even going for their serve, so I'm surprised that they're still siding out at such a high level in such consistency. But it's
Gage.
Just clean volleyball all around. What a swing by Gage.
Clean. Grab your notebooks, folks, and take some notes. Lars and Gage just showing us how it's done. Jump set. Going back, nobody up, and putting it away is Alvaro.
It's a beautiful play by Caleb and Alvaro. I want to see more of that and maybe mixing in those options, you know, keeping the Basey brothers on their toes.
Kwekel with the serve. Firing at Gage. Gage goes for the high line. Will he find it? He will.
Again, very evenly matched all throughout this game, point for point.
Both teams solid with the serve and pass battle. Both being able to find a couple digs here and there. Sorry, jinxed you there with the broadcaster jinx Gage. 16 apiece in the do or die elimination match. Who will continue on to tomorrow? Alvaro at the service line. Gage behind. And getting a piece of that block, saying, yes, I did touch it. Will bring his brother Lars to the service line.
I like the creativity of Alvaro. You know, he's been top spinning, he's mixing in float serves, he's really giving them a lot of different looks, but they are just very consistent siding out. And that's 2 back-to-back missed serves for the Basey brothers.
Trying to really challenge that back end line. It's the ace to air battle. That's always a fun game to play. Caleb Kwekel with the serve. At Gage. Gage down the middle. Blocked at the net by Kwekel. Taking space.
Our first point score in a long time. I like that. Them taking over the match, Caleb Kwekel and Alvaro just being able to change that momentum where they're not always chasing. Now the Basey brothers are chasing the score.
The young gun, Caleb Kwekel, 22, out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Now resides in Florida. Going just a bit deep there on that serve. Gage here at the service line, 18-18. Kwekel taking that pass on the net. High line, it'll drop in. Great set there from Alvaro, rolling his partner up there, having apex on that ball.
Slowing down the game over here. Gage wiping his glasses. This is a big point, 19-18.
Alvaro at the service line. Has 5 gold medals on the FIVB World Tour. Scramble play. Lars, nobody up, he'll find it. His brother Gage setting him up there on that scramble play.
Sometimes when the ball's out of system for you, it's also out of system for the defensive team, so it can open up some holes. And Lars, very impressive way to find that ball. And Gage, what a set.
Lars into the tape. Point and possible set point for Kwekel and Alvaro. Caleb Kwekel with the serve. At Lars. Takes a look. Cut. Alvaro's there. In transition. He puts it away. Oh, he does not. It is out of bounds. Keeping the Basey brothers alive.
What a great move by Alvaro. He let Lars see him and then just took off for the line.
sending us into overtime and a timeout to go with it. 2020. I'd say both of these teams have 2020 vision in the game of beach volleyball because they are seeing everything right now.
Yeah, very impressive game with not a lot of leads. Nobody's really separating from the other team. We're going back and forth, side out for side out. Both of them matching up very well.
It is do or die here for both of these teams. As we know, they want to solidify that spot into the AVP League. Couple things that are different about the league starting in the fall is that each match will be 3 sets to 15, each set to 15. So it'll be a little bit of a different look in the game of beach volleyball, but it will be entertaining to say the least.
So interesting, games to 15. It's such a different game management in those games to 15. So having that be the sole game, the most important one, is going to be definitely a switch. I'm curious to see what everybody thinks of it.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see how it plays out, how the teams will be organized, is that these players will be put into a draft. And then after, their team managers can draft either a men or women's team in their first round picks. And then the latter in their second round. Gage with a serve. Alvaro with nobody up and taking full advantage. Another possible set point.
Alvaro wishing he had that one at 2019.
Alvaro here with the serve. Lars takes a look and goes high line, saying, why not? Looking at his brother, saying, I don't know, that worked.
I mean, the vision to see Alvaro looking like he's ready to run, that just takes a lot of detailed vision. And he saw it for sure. He knew Alvaro wanted to show him something and take something else. And, you know, Alvaro can start playing with that, and he is working that into the game, but Lars is aware.
21 apiece. Alvaro, cut shot, nobody to be found, and we're in the splash zone with that ball. 22 serving 21. Caleb Kwekel at the service line. Gage. And a stop block to take set number 1, 23-21. An overtime battle back and forth. We knew it was going to be point for point. Both teams siding out at a high percentage, being able to find blocks on both sides of their net. But it's a couple points in transition that made the difference for Alvaro and Kwekel.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, also noticing that the 2 points that Alvaro and Caleb were able to score were kind of on Gage, and they were both blocks. So just being aware of that for him, maybe thinking that he wants to move the ball, because most of the game was on Lars. So kind of catching him off guard a little bit, and Caleb just being super, super disciplined at the net there. I mean, both teams are playing at a very high level. Our hitting percentages are very high. Gage with 300, Lars with 667. Alvaro 667, and Caleb at 500. Very, very high hitting percentages.
And when you have a high hitting percentage, things usually seem to fall your way most of the time.
When both teams are having them, you know, it's going to be a close match just like it was. So moving on to the second set, we'll see if Caleb and Alvaro are able to take that momentum that they finished with, which was really just earning 2 points off of their serve in that game. That changed the momentum. I mean, it was really, really back and forth. So it'll be interesting to see if this game follows a similar suit.
I have to agree with you here, and we kind of get a sneak peek to see who is playing on court number 1 to wrap up the day.
Brooke and Megan hitting on the men's net to warm up.
Why not? I love playing on a men's net. I'm 6'3", but still.
Got here? Yeah, you're over here.
And set number 2 shortly underway here in the do or die elimination match. I'm Victoria Dennis alongside Corinne Kwekel. Thank you for joining us here courtside in beautiful, sunny Manhattan Beach, California for the historical Manhattan Beach Open. First set was a barn burner, 23-21 in favor of Filho and Kwekel. It's Lars Basey with the serve. Alvaro behind. And showing us exactly how he represented Team Brazil in the Olympics. Alvaro back at the service line. Gage with the pass. And a first ball side out of his own.
Glass is giving him a bit of trouble here. I mean, it is hot. People are sweating quite a bit, you know, drips into your glasses, but as he goes back to serve, you know, finding your time, your rest period so that you can come out and look to point score as well.
Yep, that hot summer sun beating down, says 75 degrees, but I think it feels about 85 on the sand.
Gage has been running up, and now he points to Lars to go up.
And Lars gets a block. Will it go? It will. Gage is there. In transition, recycle. Gage again. Nobody up, but Alvaro's there. Lars takes a look and finds a way in transition for the Basey brothers. A little bit of switch blocking there, saying we can do it all. Representing the great state of Colorado. Gage with the serve. High hands, it'll go for a steady first ball side out. Great pass set there from Kwekel and Alvaro.
Alvaro, the lefty, moving on to the left side to hit that ball.
Caleb into the net. Point will go to the Basey brothers.
I like Caleb being aggressive on that serve. We saw how hard it was to point score in the first set. I don't mind the aggressiveness.
Alvaro with a pass on to option, and that bounce will go up and over our camera here on court number 1.
It looks so easy.
With authority. Alvaro, jump float on Gage. Gage in transit. Oh, it's Caleb Kwekel with a block, bringing us to 4-3.
Yeah, Caleb's lining up really well against Gage, especially when that ball is just ever so slightly inside.
Alvaro back at the service line. Trying to take this in 2. The Basey brothers looking to extend it to 3 sets. Lars, high line, Alvaro's there. Jump set, tight ball. Picked up by Gage. Oh, and blocked out of bounds in transition. Gage laughing that one off, saying, sure, we'll take it.
Great awareness, way to see the hands. I mean, really good rally there and great ball control.
Seam ball picked up by Alvaro. And put away as well. Great set there from his partner, Caleb. Great apex on that ball. Bringing Caleb here to the service line. Overpass on 2, picked up by Gage. Pin set. Oh, and a power pokey?
Oh, but it might have landed just out.
Seems to be just out of bounds. Alvaro saying that's our point?
just double checking. Oh, but they don't believe it.
Oh.
But he's looking, it looks like he's trying to call an open hand, but he pokeyed that ball.
You saw me poke.
A lot of dispute over this point just to see if it was an open hand touch or maybe a touch, Caleb. They're not sure. We'll see what they decide here. They're awarding the point to Caleb and Alvaro. But the Baseys don't seem to know it yet.
His judgment was that you had an open hand. I'm the captain, I got it.
Lars taking charge. Lars trying to decide.
So the verdict is that our up ref has called an open hand tip on Gage. So Lars right now is talking with our up ref and is having a little conversation with David up there. Gage looking at his hand saying, I knuckle pokeyed it. David saying he did not.
Fortunately, we don't have any of this video challenge. We can't rewatch it.
No challenges here. So the final call will be going to Kwekel and Filho. Kwekel off the top of the tape. Gage looking. High line put away. Saying, let's go, brother. Bringing Lars, the older of the two, back to the service line. 6-year spread between the brothers. High hands, it'll go out of bounds.
We hear Gage talking about, hey, I'll stick to the game plan over here. It looks like they're kind of playing around with some things with the block. But really good high reach from Caleb there.
As the overcast starts to blow in off the Pacific Ocean. Alvaro with the serve. Lars taking a look. Alvaro's there. Overset. And it'll go. A double call on Kwekel.
Interesting, yeah.
Within a 1-point ball game, 6 serving 7. Gage with the topspin. Kwekel takes it and hammers it away, bringing us to our side switch. In the great game of beach volleyball, we switch on 7s. Best 2 out of 3. Switching on 7s because, well, we play outside for the most part in the elements, rain, wind, sun, giving both teams equal opportunity on both sides.
I feel like the momentum right now is kind of leaning towards Caleb and Alvaro, but we'll see how Gage and Lars respond and if they're able to keep this side out to side out. And with that missed serve, they are.
What's one thing right now, Corinne, if you're the Basey brothers? What's the dialogue like?
I mean, I think that they're doing a lot of good things. I'd say maybe when they go back to serve, we say, hey, let's go for 1 or 2 out of these few, because they're siding out so consistently right now. So I don't know. I might want to go back there and start mixing up my serve, mixing up where I'm serving from, how I'm serving, top spin, float, maybe hybrid, side spin, whatever. Just start giving them a little bit different looks.
So it starts at the service line.
Yes, exactly. Or, I mean, maybe doing something differently on defense, but I feel like they are moving on defense pretty well. Alvaro and Caleb just also being super terminal and seeing the court and the defense well.
It's been a close game all afternoon here on court number 1. In this elimination match, wind is kicking up a bit. Gage taking a look, and it's a stuff block by Kwekel. Kwekel, a force to be reckoned with up there at the net, has had a big blocking game so far, making that 4 blocks to his name.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen that same thing a few times. I'd love to see Gage move that ball, maybe out from right in that area. Gage,
out of bounds. It is in. Tagging that back line.
And I love that he kind of changed. He took that ball nice and high. He brought it back to his line. That's a beautiful swing.
Gage with the serve. Alvaro going behind. And hammering it to the ground is Alvaro, making that 14 kills now on the ball game. Hitting percentage 650 with only 1 attack error.
Very impressive, especially as a defender who has 6 sticks. A lot of those are coming off of those sticks. A lot of those are coming in transition, where the ball might be slightly out of system.
Lars with the pass. Down the middle. Going high hands is Lars. Putting in another one away for the Basey brothers, making that 11 kills now for Lars. He only has 1 attack error, and he is also batting in the 600s, 625. Alvaro, high hands, it'll go. Calm, cool, and collected, and steady with it, bringing us to our technical timeout. Corinne, let's talk a little bit more about the AVP League happening in the fall. We have our teams' names already set up, and I want you to tell me your favorite name of the teams. So we have the LA Launch, the San Diego Smash, New York Nitro, Brooklyn Blaze, Palm Beach Passion, Miami Mayhem, Dallas Dream, and Austin Aces.
Okay, I like quite a few of those, but I have to say the Palm Beach Passion reminds me of passion fruit, and that is just one of my favorite fruits. So I'm gonna go with that one. How about you?
What team do you think will be drafted to Palm Beach?
You know, it is so hard to tell. I mean, right now only one team has solidified their spot.
But if we had to like guesstimate and speculate.
Oh man, I don't know.
I can see the Taylors being with Palm Beach.
Oh really? I mean, I wonder how they're doing.
Or Miami.
Yeah. I can see that, but also a lot of the players are based in Los Angeles, and a lot of the players are out in California. So definitely it'll be interesting to see who gets drafted to those further away ones, the Florida, the Brooklyn, the New York, you know, all of those.
Right, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, much like the indoor pro leagues that we have here, right? It's you get drafted to a team, you move to that area, you train in that facility, and then you travel to play in the tournaments or the other teams in the league. So very much like the NBA, the NFL is how this league will be structured. So a different look, very exciting.
For sure.
Kwekel, now, just kidding. It is Alvaro. Psyched us out over there. Alvaro, no aces yet in this ball game. Lars with a pass. Takes a look. Cut shot again. A steady Lars, 12 kills.
Alvaro and Caleb definitely going with that plan to serve into the win. A lot of balls going to Gage on the other side and Lars while they're on the side that they are on now.
Gage with the serve. Handled by Kwekel, who goes behind. High hands, it'll go, utilizing that block of Lars. Kwekel, 11 kills. Batting 600 on the match. And the only athlete on the court with blocks, and he'll take 5.
Yeah, doing a really good job controlling that net, especially, we've seen a lot of him while he's on the other side. But making a lot of good moves there and being super disciplined in his footwork.
And it'll be an ace serve. Our first ace of the ball game will go to Caleb Kwekel, challenging that sideline of Gage.
Caleb's got a nice fast serve into the middle. It leaves Gage and Lars not a lot of time to decide if that ball is landing in or out.
Lars looks cross court, but then does a fast wrist away down the line. Lars at the service line. Serving at Kwekel. Looks for a first ball side out, and he'll find it.
Caleb's got just such a fast arm and such a fast arm swing. You know, he swings all the way through every time, and he takes that ball so high.
3 out of the 4 athletes competing, all hitting over 500. Kwekel and Filho batting over 600 as a team. Basey brothers batting 421. Lars looks and puts it away.
I mean, we're still seeing a lot of good things from both teams on their side out. We're just starting to see Caleb and Alvaro separate just a little bit. And Gage and Lars are having a hard time earning points when they have their serve. Oh, but there one is.
Oh.
Triple ace for a point and for the switch at 13-15.
First ace for the Basey brothers in the ball game, and they'll take it with a side switch. Alvaro leading in digs with 6. Gage behind him with 3. Passed up, high pass from Alvaro. Takes a look, Gage is there. Controlled set. Alvaro's there. Gage redirects. Alvaro in transition, nobody up. And Alvaro going, he threw that ball like a quarterback across that court. I don't know.
Yeah, that one is definitely borderline. He's about, I don't know, 3 to 5 feet off the net there. Still acting as a blocker. I mean, if he's jumping high enough and taking that ball over the height of the net. But definitely a questionable one that I would talk to the ref about.
Might be a little catch and release action. Maybe like when they go fishing in Colorado, who knows? Nonetheless, point going to Alvaro and Kwekel. 16 serving 13. At Gage. Gage looks. Alvaro's there. It's a net violation on Kwekel. Point to the Basey brothers.
That's a good break for the Basey brothers because Alvaro had a pretty good touch on that ball.
He did. He's getting a lot of touches on defense. I mean, we can expect from the seasoned veterans, leading in digs with 8 to his name on the ball game. He reads the game just at such a high level. Sometimes he knows where you're going to attack before you do.
Yeah, definitely. And that's just his experience in the game, right?
Lars with the serve. And it'll go out of bounds. Alvaro playing a little bit of dodgeball. Showing us those hip flexors still work back there. Squatting to let that ball go out of bounds. here at the service line. Gage with the pass. Great set and put away. Gage going up and over the block of Kwekel. Gage here with 12 kills to his name. Getting his team back into this ball game. It's a 2-point spread, 15 serving 17.
I love that aggressive
and
serve.
And it's an A serve, all gas, no brakes from Gage Basey.
We talked about it before. What can they change to start earning points? And we talked how it starts with the service line. So I love seeing that aggressive serve.
Saying, why not us?
He's got the win. I mean, it's not necessarily in his favor, but at the same time it is, because he's able to serve into that, kind of into that beach side, the ocean side. So I like that aggressive serve. He feels really comfortable with it, and I'd love to see him continue that through the end of this game. On this side, at least. We'll see what it looks like on the other side.
Yeah, great point, Corinne. With Kwekel here. Float serve, hybrid. Gage. And it is down the line with a smile, as he always has on his face.
Bringing it back between one, but Alvaro was there. It almost looked like it surprised him that he was, oh, right in my hand. But yeah, they're doing a lot of good things, and let's see if they can earn some points on this side.
Some fans cheering there for the Basey brothers. Kwekel running behind, spreading their offense. It's a block, touch. And a scramble play will go in the favor of Kwekel and Alvaro.
Yeah, that's a pretty good touch. Just unfortunate they kind of got turned around on that one. And with the wind kind of gusting now, it's coming in little spurts. So definitely hard to find that position and where you are and put that ball onto the other side.
It'll swirl around here on the court. Random pockets making that ball drop. Wind 10 miles an hour. Gage will take the hat of Kwekel. Sportsmanship is not dead, folks. As Gage said, are you okay?
It's not always the most comfortable, maybe, when you jump high enough for your face to get hit while you're blocking.
It is not fun, I'll tell you that. Into the net it'll go, bringing us to a possible match point for Alvaro and Kwekel.
Yeah, I still think he has to go for that ball. I like the aggressive serve. Obviously you want to make that one in, but the intention is there.
Kwekel with the serve. Gage. Alvaro picks it up. In transition, it'll be out of bounds, keeping the Basey brothers alive and within 1 point. Can they earn at the service line to send us into another overtime set?
Man, just another amazing set by Caleb on that ball, to put that ball right on the net for Alvaro. And a phenomenal swing, just missing by centimeters.
Lars at Alvaro. Swinging into the cross court and taking this match, Caleb Kwekel and Alvaro Filho. 23-21, 21-19. We'll live to see another day at the Manhattan Beach Open. Corinne, biggest takeaways?
I mean, that was a very high-level match. Both teams set it out at such a high percentage. They both hit at a high percentage. We got to watch a lot of good volleyball, so congrats to both teams. Congrats to the Basey brothers for a good tournament. And we will see Caleb and Alvaro further along in this tournament on Saturday.
We sure will. Stick around, folks. Last match of the day will be up here in approximately 10 to 12 minutes. I'm Victoria Dennis alongside Corinne Kwekel. We will see you shortly.
That whole 10 minutes. You were doing my job.
I don't know. Can you pick out that hole I made, bro?
I could have rolled him across the whole thing. I was building very good, so I got like this much room in there. So I think the turn goes on and everyone looks at you. Yeah.